So here's the things that I need so far. I'm going to change the link for the stabilizer bar. More on that in a little bit. But we've got to take the tire and wheel off first, and then I'll show you some close-ups in there. But basically I'm using some floor stands, jack stands, and a hydraulic jack, and I've got the two links over here. And that is what the link looks like still in the plastic. Alright, so here's the strut. That's the top mount. Down here is the lower mount. If you look in there, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of misaligned and not really fitting in there right. Let me pull that around for another view. Whoops. Maybe you can see it better there. So, it definitely doesn't look right. So let's see if we can go ahead and replace this thing. By the way, as far as the jack stands go, this is what I've done. Somebody can comment and let me know if that's wrong, but it seemed like a good secure place. I was careful to center the jack stands underneath the chassis. I left the hydraulic back there for a little safety, but probably that's not as helpful as I hope it is. An important thing is never ever put them up on bricks. I've seen people put them up on wood. You just have to be very careful that it's really stable. When I went to jack this up, it actually moved to the side quite a bit, and I chose to put them both up at the same time. I'm going to have to fix the bushings on the stabilizer bar, but I'm going to do that another day, and I'll maybe make a video for that. That's what it looks like underneath up on the jack stands. So for the new link here, it's a 17 millimeter socket. I checked that out on the new one before I took the old ones off. Now I'm going to check the old ones, and if it's different I'll let you know. I had a really hard time getting this nut off here, and so I ended up using a breaker bar. I did not put a pipe on it and extend it or anything weird like that. I'm trying to be as safe as I can be. But I needed this to get it off. It was pretty tight, and that broke it loose. I didn't really have to pound on it or do anything weird. A breaker bar was enough. They're worth having, even if they're sometimes hard to find in the garage. I'd also like to point out that the end of this has a hex head on it. The actual part that works here, on the ones that I had on there anyway, freely turned. So I guess the hex head was there to help me hold it in place if I needed to, but I didn't need that. It was pretty tight. So we'll see how the rest goes. Alright, so I've got this off now. I looked in here to see if I saw any wear on the inside diameter, if it was looking like over the years, because this was loose for a long time, if it had made it oblong or otherwise worn it. But I really don't see anything bad that way. It looks pretty good. Let me zoom in on that better. I mean, it's definitely got wear, but I'm not going to probably replace that stabilizer bar. Hopefully this works and I don't have any rattling anymore. Alright, so if you look at this, you can see the rubber parts are pretty worn. This part seems to be pretty fixed. This part over here moves around quite a bit and it spins. So anyway, that's the lower part there. I don't know if there's a difference, but I'll check and see if one spins or not on the new one. So when I went to work on these a little bit and just see if they turn freely, they don't. I can feel some give, but that's it. So maybe that's part of the problem, is that when the other one gave, it just wasn't doing its job anymore. But both top and bottom seem to be pretty solid. And I don't see a difference between the top and bottom. I've looked pretty closely. I don't see any indicators on the back or anything. So as far as I know, these don't have a top or bottom. And I'll go ahead and put it in now. The lower one goes on the in, and the upper one comes out. So just note that when you take it off or refer to this video. I've got this one on, and I used just a socket wrench for that. Down here I had a harder time getting the socket in, so I've actually been using an open-end wrench. And just in case, I know a lot of people know this, but you'll notice that the head is on an angle. It doesn't go straight out. Some do, but most of them have an angle, and when you flip it like this, you'll find that you can put the nut on a lot faster if you flip it each time. So I'll do it this way, and then flip it and go that way and flip it. And if you get it right, and if it's exactly in the right position, it becomes very efficient, and you'll find that it goes on almost exactly in the maximum place to take it through each time. You can maximize the angle that it goes through because of the offset each time. Now, I did a dumb thing. When I put this one on, nothing turned. I mean, the nut went right on. This part didn't turn or anything. I had no problem. But if it turns and you can't get the whoops. If it turns and you can't get this on, then you have to find a hex. Hopefully one the right size. This is a different size than the factory one. That worries me maybe a little bit. I'm not sure if that's exactly a good fit. If it's not, I'll have to go get my other ones. But I'm going to use this to try and tighten the other one on the other side. I've got better lighting over here. But essentially this is spinning the threaded part. That's making it so that the nut never goes past the plastic lock, because it's a locking nut. Even with poor light, I'm going to show you what I did here. I'm using a box end wrench with the Allen here. I hold the Allen with this hand, I turn the wrench with the other hand, and I slip the box end out and then rotate it back up, using my other hand, of course, so that I don't have to take it off. I found that actually works easier for me than using the open end of the wrench. I'm able to do it really, really fast. This is all I actually used to do the whole job. Some stuff I tried because I didn't really need to. In the end, this was really enough.